And this is almost 4:30 a.m. I've not had my sleep. I, I finished work. I just came back to my house, and I saw the space, and I said I have to be here because what we're doing is timely and very very necessary. Um, I would share my experience just quickly in two different ways. One, an indirect experience. In 2004, 2013, 2014 academic session, my mother was the acting principal of the community secondary school in my community, uh, in Wagidi Girls Secondary School. Um, that was the time P2B was doing what he called what I've forgotten the name he called it, but it was under ANID, Anambra Integrated Developmental Strategy, where he's focusing on schools, infrastructural overhaul. Every government owned or partnered secondary school in Anambra then got at least one school bus. At least one, I mean, depending on the size and number of students you have. Because my mother's school was a village school, they got one school bus, and they were all homemade by Innocent, and they were very sound vehicles, brand new. Every school, government owned or government partnered, because I will explain the meaning of government and government partnered. Because in Anambra State, okay, when I'm done, got at least 5 million naira for renovation of structures or building new ones. That fund was used. In fact, he wouldn't give it to the school alone. He would call the PTA. That is how he did it. The principal will be there. The parent teacher association, that's PTA, will be there, and the town union will be there, so that there will be accountability. He wouldn't give one person money to go and spend. He doesn't do it. So my mother had to account for every 1 naira in that 5 million naira to the town union leadership, and that money alone helped the school. They like their SS3 students always have to go to other schools to write WAEC because their science lab were not furnished. The money was enough to renovate the science lab, equip it, and then renovate three dilapidated classroom blocks. These things were happening because that was my mother. Like I was seeing, I saw how everything happened, all the meetings they went for. So the no matter how small your secondary school is, at least 50 computers, Zynox computers. It was a partnership he signed with Zynox, and Zynox donated those computers to Anambra State, and they did that because of P2B and its transparency. And he also installed internet connection for them as at that time. This was 2004, 2013, 2014. So that one passed. He handed over to um, Governor Willie Obiano, and that was it. On January 17, 2017, I became the 25th president of Nnamdi Azikiwe University Medical Students Association, and that was the period Anambra State witnessed back-to-back fire accidents. So medical students who were recruiting medical students to go and volunteer at the emergency, helping fire burns victims and everything. So P2B then was nobody in Nigeria. 2017, he had handed over. He had finished his assignment with Jonathan. Jonathan lost re-election. So, but he was the past governor. So when the second fire incident happened in February 2017, so he was in the teaching hospital. He came in one a black Prado with just his driver. This is a past governor with a driver, and like he was just at the accident emergency. It's just because people knew him that like they started creating scene. Like the Prado was parked somewhere, and he came down. As he was entering the accident emergency. So when I saw him, I was like, "What is happening here?" So I had to approach him. You know, that was why I was laughing when the lady who talked about Peter not giving them shishi. So when I became president, like I'm not gonna lie, the decadence in our leadership structures starts from school. So everybody becomes president. You want to use that opportunity to to go make money. All right. So when I saw Peter Obi, I said, Omo, this one opportunity. Oh. So I rushed him there. I sent Afam the pictures. He had them in his DM. If he wants to publish them, he can publish them. Um, sorry, Ajibusu, yeah. So I approached him, I introduced myself. I'm the president of medical students, told him what we have done to assist those fire victims as medical students, trying to, lobby him for future visits and funding. So almost so the man now took me by my hand. We went and visited all the fire victims at the ICU. Like he held me like he's not like somebody like is holding a friend. We walked around the hospital. So it was almost a 2 hours visit. Like I said, no single policeman, zero, just the driver. So almost 2 hours. We came out. We're now standing outside, gisting. People were going about their normal business. I'm like, this is a governor of Anambra State, past governor of Anambra State. So after that, he gave me his Gmail, his popular Gmail address. He didn't give me his phone number and said I should reach out to him that we can plan events where he can come and assist the medical students in one way or other for all the volunteer services that we did to help the fire accident victims. So that was it. So I initiated communication with him. It was a free flowing email conversation. Like he replied almost all the emails I wrote him in less than a week, and like that really changed the way I saw leadership. So and with all those communications, he never gave us a 10 kobo. Now then we had a college event, the platform that we organized. So I leveraged that relationship we had, and I brought you we brought him to the campus where he spoke to all the medical students of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, including nursing. It was a very big program. He was there. He inspired, like the speech he gave there touched a lot of young people in the medical field, and subsequently he he refused to give me, he didn't give me 10 kobo. So he now funded some of the programs we had in our government throughout the year. But the takeaway from all this is that when I became president, I had I had the intention to do what, to be like the normal SUG parole. But after my encounter with P2B, and I was glad and I was grateful to God that I met P2B the time I met him, because it was still the first month of my presidency. Now, if you go back to Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, my administration stood out because of that impact I had with him in February. Every medical student in Unizik at the time of 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 that you ask of Chisom Maneki would tell you. So it was a life-changing moment. From a politics of come, let's share money, to a politics of impactful leadership. And from that day till now, like I know they use here where they call P2B. Like I said, I just came back from work. This is 4:30 a.m. I said I have to share the experience. Nigerians really need to meet P2B. He's like the biblical Jesus that there's no way you touch his garment and remain the same. Never. I'll stop here due to want of time. Thank you.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Uh, amazing. I mean, these are the kind of leaders we need in our society. You know, I mean, these are the kind of leaders I expect young people to support. I mean, people that can change everything about you just I mean, either from a distance or from, I mean, these are the kind of leaders we need. These are the kind of people we should be listening to. At least, I mean, I'm talking about my generation, our generation, the young people. People like this. You don't. There are not so many of them in Nigeria. I mean, talking about. I mean, the politicians. It's very, very, very. People like this are actually very rare. And imagine what it would be like if you have about 10 P2Bs, 20 P2Bs. Don't you think Nigeria will get better? Let's keep our tribal sentiment or whatever aside and, for once be try as much as we can to be objective. These are the kind of people we need. We complain about Nigeria every day, and when it's time for elections, some of us, we will go that same old route of tribal sentiment and all that. Nobody's talking about look at other people coming out for election. No issue based campaign, nothing. It's been only P2B back to back. Oh, this is what we need to do, or this is what we don't want. You
Ajibusu,
know?
Ajibusu, sorry
Yeah,
to interrupt.
yeah,
Someone give me a very super suggestion in my DM right now. These
yeah.
spaces need to be recorded.
Fortunately, we already started.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I'm just saying for subsequent ones.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Zain, I'm
You said,
about to
yeah.
say that if we can crash the space and record it, I beg. If we
Please,
can
please.
crash this
Oh,
and
so,
record it,
what do you guys
this
think? Should they
information
crash?
needs to be out there. I won't
Okay.
mind. This information needs to be out there.
So what do you guys think? We should crash the space and start all over again, then record it. I mean, if you cool with that idea, just use the emoji so we can start all over again. Uh,
Yeah, I think the people should follow. Like people should follow you. So maybe you like maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. So people should follow you. Then we can do that.
okay, okay, that's fine. I think since everyone wants us to record the space, I think I'll just probably end the space and open. Okay,
shared this before this topic even came on board. I've had several experiences with His Excellency. But the one I'll never forget is the first one when I first met him at Stratton Hotel here in Abuja. I had just finished my military advocacy campaign with a couple of celebrities, and I had gone to check them in the hotel. As I was about to leave, I remembered I'd not had food for the past 2 days. I went into this restaurant to eat, to have breakfast. Then I saw His Excellency sitting, and he sat exactly at my same spot where I love sitting when I entered the restaurant. And when we saw each other, we became, we exchanged pleasantries, and we got discussing Nigerian issues, national issues, and all of that. I didn't know that all the while that I've been coming to the hotel, he was listening to me, he was seeing me, he'd been watching me. According to him, I was dazed that this man was paying attention to somebody he didn't even know. And most times you won't believe it, that because of the hurry, I didn't even used to pay attention if he was in the hall or anything. So I was surprised that he knew me that much and everything. So when we got talking, long and short, we had our experiences. I gave him insight of what the Nigerian armed forces have the experiences they are having in the Northeast and all of that. When I was about to leave, he said, "Princess, can I please send a recorded message to our troops at the battlefront? This is somebody who is not the president of Nigeria. This is somebody who is not the governor. This is somebody who is not a service chief or anything." And I turned and looked at him. I said, "Sir, are you sure you want to do that?" He said, "Why not? I mean, these are the only people presently holding the fabric of our society. In as much as people tend to be mean or hit at them hard, but I know very well there are certain things I know from the 12th floor that most regular Nigerians don't know." I said, "You are right, sir." And something exciting happened. We had finished. Then I'll go back to, we had finished our conversation. Then, of course, young people saw him and started rushing and taking pictures. We said, "Are you going to contest for president of Nigeria? Blah, 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 blah. It's someone like you." I said, "People know this guy this much." Well, it's good. Now, I'm sharing this because some of you from the Igbo extraction, people like Afam, you are too boastful as if it is only you people that own this Peter Obi. I'm from the north, and we love him so. You people make it look as if he's only your property. He's everybody's property. So stop all those, my friends, Dr. Senna. "Oh, he's from your father's village. Get out. The man is a national citizen. What is your problem? It's not just your personal property that you could be making noise. I know him when he did Anambra. This is not Anambra elections. This is national elections. And our G is a national guy. And I'm talking as a northerner. And when we got talking, this guy dissected things that happened in my state. We spoke so much about many things. And something interesting happened. We now wanted to eat. I ordered for a cup of juice, a glass of juice rather. Some of you know all these big hotels now, all these 5-4-star hotel, how their glass of juice is very small. Not those jumbo size we drink in our homes. They gave us a coffee, and they gave I think my husband was with me. They gave him a cup of coffee, and they gave Mr. Obi one bottle of water. That's Nestle to be precise. And Nestle product. So when we got, we were chatting and still carried away with our in-depth conversation with Nigeria and why we shouldn't think of leaving Nigeria at this point, because at that point we were thinking that, "Oh, if it's this advocacy we are doing, then we can be doing it from outside the country. This is becoming too much," and all of that. He tried to start convincing us that if all of you run away, those of you who have the brains, those of you who have the capabilities, who are this passionate and patriotic, what will happen? Do you know what it means for you to be a woman and for you to be a pioneer of military advocacy? Everybody is always on the other side with these people, but you have managed to be inside. You have gone to the battlefronts for your information. I've stayed there 3 days. So if you are here, you are not a soldier. And you have not stayed where they are exchanging bullets. You don't have the power to talk to me when I'm saying certain things about Nigeria. Back to basics, right? That's just a joke. Now, when Mr. Obi when we had finished, my dear, now so they go bring below 30,600. No, plus my PA, that's 40,800. I remember because it was 10,200 naira per person. I got up, I said, "We have not even eaten, we just had glass of juice." In fact, when we got to say, "Sorry, man, the banquet has finished." So I said, "Okay." I pulled out my card to pay. Now normally you want to form big chick. Mr. Obi now held my hand. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, no, Your Excellency, don't worry. Please, it should be an honor to take care of the baby. He said, no, 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 with that his small, cute voice. Like, no, 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 princess, you won't do that. Do I look hungry to you? He now whispered to me, Bia, I'm going to show you the power of negotiation. I said, ah. I said, okay, I now use my leg. He didn't know this part. I use my leg and tap my husband and say, see, Igbo people no go kill me. Which one be power of negotiation? Make this man no come disgrace us here. Which kind? I like, let's pay this thing. No be just 40K plus. What is this? 4,800. My husband now looked at me. I know there's this look. He looks at me like, Omo, just shut up. You don't know, get wisdom past this man. Let him do what he wants to do. So in my mind, let me not lie to you, in my mind, I said, I see how this man won't fall himself hand. The girl now came. Sorry, sir, this is the bill, 10,200 per person and all of that. It's a young woman. I've been how long have you been working here? He says, just 2 years now. I'm 2 years. He said, I've been a pioneer, customer of this hotel. I've been here since they changed their names from Bond Hotel or to this Point Stratton. All the names they've named this hotel. I've been here. I've been a loyal customer to this brand, and you have to have some measure of customer consideration. I said, so this man, and I use my phone to type. I said, so this man won't beg, but nothing person no go see for Nigeria. No be former governor, be this is not 40 something. I pay this thing come out before people come gather here. They look. I don't like this. My husband now put his head down. At that point, he was almost choking with laughter because I was chatting him up. We're making a joke out of the situation, and His Excellency now continued. The lady now he now said, okay, let's take it this way. Let's take it slowly. Princess, I said, sir. He said, what is that you drink? I said, sir, it's Chivita juice, sir. Chivita. He now asked the lady, how much is Chivita juice, sir? He said, sir. He said, did any of us eat? He said, no, you didn't eat, sir. He said, and then let's start bothering about paying what we took because we can't pay the money because you said we start at the spot when it's supposed to be banquets. Now we have to pay for what we wanted to eat. Now you say food is not available. I am not saying we'll not pay. I'm only saying that if we want to pay something, we should be waiting to be patient and just pay for what we have eaten. We can't just pay because we are sitting on your chair. But you can, if you add the bill of sitting on the chair yourself, it is not going to be up to that. I say, here, this is becoming interesting. I started smiling. I could now, have that feel of where he was going to. He said, okay, how much is your juice? He says a bottle of juice is 1,005. He said, no. That's not what I just want you to see that already your organization is making profits. How much is the retail price? How much do you buy it in the market, in the supermarket? You're a young lady. You can't tell me you've not had a pack of Chivita juice before. Then Chivita paying you 1,500 naira for the juice. That means automatically people are making nothing less than about 1 to 2. I've forgotten the figures that, but he said 1,000 plus in his math that he did. Percentage profit. I say here. I looked at my husband. He now started, so he couldn't control himself. He started laughing. He now said, "Hey, Odogu Okute." There's a name he called him because he understands him and all of that. He now said, okay, how much is a jar of Nestle coffee? The man didn't even send us when my husband was laughing. I said, how much is a jar of coffee? The lady now started collecting the lectures. He said, 2,200, sir. He said, okay. So for the cup of coffee my brother there took, is just 1 spoon now. Coffee is 1 spoon. So if you remove 1 spoon from that here, we are paying you 1,000. How much is a cup of coffee here? I say 1,000 naira. I say, hey, that's 1,000 naira plus 1 5. You're even making more profit. It's only 1 spoon out of the normal jar of coffee that is 2,200. Next cap is in fact, I import these things too. So I know it is 2,200 we give you at retail. I'm not even talking about the wholesale rates again. How much is water? This lady now said 80 naira. I started laughing because at that point I could just, grasp what he was trying to do. Then the next thing, the GM of the hotel came in. He said, Your Excellency, sir. And I started trying to shout at the lady. He said, no. She's just a young person. I have to educate her. Besides, me, I don't appreciate eye service. Because don't worry, let us just talk. She's my friend. Please don't go and harass her, let her and say that because you didn't like the way she spoke to me. We are learning every day. I'm also learning from her, and I'm also trying to make it. Long and short, At the end of the day, guys, from 40,800 naira, we ended up paying 3,600 naira. I busted into laughter. Like I didn't know when I started hugging him. He was laughing. I said, how did you do that? He said, would you have been happy with yourself and your pocket after you left this place? You didn't eat food. And then they charge you for the food you didn't eat because you sat there and collected AC. Don't you have AC in your house? Not stingy. I said, sir, you are not stingy. I noticed that you are just a prudent man. He said, exactly. He said, why would you, that when his sister, he didn't even say his sister, he said, when my beloved sister died, you know, the way he put it, say, when my beloved sister died, I told my nephews that, Nam, this is your call. Oh. I won't want to collect your shine by burying your mother for you. Now you are a graduate, you are working and all of that. The young man was expecting him to like do the burial as former governor, uncle, blah, blah, blah. And what did he do? He said, when the guy now brought out long list and said, and this one is for us to do for burial. And this, I said, now, if you want to go ahead and spend money for people to come and eat rice when you're supposed to be mourning privately, say, as for me, I'm not inviting anybody. This is not a wedding. In fact, it's a private moment for the family, for you to mourn your mother, not for me to go and bring people here that will come and start talking politics and they'll remove the shine away from your mother. I'm not going to do that because she's my beloved sister and I love her. And what did he do? He let the nephew take charge of the mother's burial, and he now went to look for the primary school they attended. The elder sister attended then in one of the villages. I've forgotten the name of the village, somewhere in the east there. And when he went there, he discovered that the school was dilapidated. He fixed the entire school structure, and they also told him they needed a hospital in the community. He built a community and then named it after his sister and handed it over to the school authority. The nephew became proud when he came and said, this is for my sister. At least let us do something that will impact lives. Wherever my sister is, I know she'll be happy. This is a man who has dedicated himself to serve God. The nature of my job warrants that I stay neutral as possible. But how can I be neutral, like Dr. Tina earlier said, my friend Dr. Tina said? How can you stay neutral when you are somebody who is extremely passionate about Nigeria? How do you not want me to have sentimental attachment to a man who understands that Nigeria's money is Nigeria's money, his money is his money? How do you want me to sit and not be happy that a man who is smart enough to understand that Innocent Motors is not about Innocent Motors being an Igbo man. It is because he's the only one who is manufacturing vehicles here in Nigeria. And as such, it is going to add more economic value to the GDP of our country and create more jobs. Because by the time Innocent has extra demand, most of you are not, I kind of have a privilege to know Innocent one-on-one. And most of you are not aware that Innocent Motors gets most of their sales from the Gambia, Ghana, and the other West African countries. In fact, Ghana offered him to move his plant there. It is loyalty, is that man's loyalty to Nigeria that makes him produce here. This is not about Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. This is not Northwest. If anybody wants to even go around that area, a soldier who listened to Mr. Obi's message that I play for them from my phone, I'll send it. I'll send the video. I refuse to share it on purpose. Then because simply because I don't want people to think, oh, this political stunt or whatever. You know, the military is very, very neutral. But I'll send you to listen, to watch that video. How realistic this man's intentions and prayers were for the armed forces. That particular video inspired a soldier who called me because now I've dedicated most of my time. I also try to help them at the Labour Party office. So I'm always with the national chairman. I'm mostly there anytime you might want to reach out to them and everything. Now, guess what? Something exciting happened. A soldier dedicated a property of his father in Gombe State. He's not Igbo, please. He's an indigenous of Gombe. Gombe, I think Gombe is not. Is Sheikh Gombe? I think Gombe Southeast, Abi. Or is it? Is it in the south?
It's my father's local government.
So, but imagine this southeastern state of Gombe. We have an Aboki Muslim soldier who has dedicated his father's property and turned it into Labour Party office. We cannot sit here and be deceiving ourselves. Like I keep telling people, love or hate Peter Obi, the message is going around. The message, in fact, as at this morning, those of you who are from Benue extraction, I got calls from Benue. you can reach out to your loved ones. The new scope, now that they see that Obi has taken over the mindsets of the young people in Benue, because, Benue, they are trying to vote an APC governor who is a Catholic priest, because there are more of these Catholic people and all of that. However, at the national level, the youth, they know how to do that in a lot. They did it during Buhari's time when they said they were tired of Jonathan and all of that. But now they are saying they want to go for, in their own language, they say they want to go for Igbo, meaning they want to go for the Igbo man, right? That is people. These are people, rather, who do not have any form of affiliation with Igbo people or anything. They are also Northerners. But now they are getting calls, people telling them that, oh, don't mind, there will be a step down for. That's another new breaking news, fake news, or repeat of it that just happened this morning. If you notice, I was coming in and out of the space. It was simply because people were calling me to say, is it true that I said it's a lie? I'm aware that he was invited. He laughed and said, I am not doing this for me now. You know this thing that in his words, collapse your train and join the winning team, Your Excellency. This is me just being a forerunner. The people who own this project are the Nigerian youths. There is nobody that has held the Nigerian youths in high esteem the way Mr. Obi holds us. At least those of us who have experienced him one-on-one. I have met several governors. A governor who know me, a former governor in my state who knew me from childhood, saw me, and instead of treating me like the adults that the woman have become now, they carry that eye. They know you as a girl that was wearing pants and running around or sitting on your father's lap, and still want to treat you in that manner. Now, when people who have refused to grow or to be progressive-minded see you and treat you in that same manner as if you are a child, then you know very well that when it comes to governance, they will still be one and the same pen. My dear brothers and sisters, my dear northern brothers and sisters, my dear southern brothers and sisters, we cannot sit and fold our arms and act as if all is well in the country. I want you all to know there are certain informations I have that I'm not going to share. The only thing I'm going to simply tell you guys is this, so that I don't get emotional and break my own leg in terms of my work. The only thing I'll tell you guys is this. Anytime you go, whatever they do, you guys should try as much as possible. Myself and Dr. Sten are here. For those in Abuja, from next week, you start seeing what do you call them? Machines. We have collected them in strategic places. We have gone. We have spoken to the REC. My brothers in the Lord, even the dear INEC are tired of these criminals. They will tell you, they will not tell you who are. If you are privileged to know one of them one by one, like those of them in authority, they'll tell you, oh, these people will use us, rape us, and then at the end of the day, they abandon us like used tissue. That was one man's statement yesterday, a Hausa man from Niger State, who is a strong person in INEC. He said, after using us, they will wait again. After 4 years, they will come. That it will not happen. Anything I want to make una do. For the first time, Nigerian police saw youths gathered at INEC office in Abuja. They didn't beat them. When I said, "Oh, what happened?" He said, "Princess, I beg, help me, help me." He saw me coming to do something. I said, "Well, it told me and Dr. Stena." We started talking to the youths. He said, "These youths won't match me." I said, "Okay, go batting them again." He said, "Hey, you want me to go call answers?" It was funny. And I started laughing. I said, "Don't worry." I said, "Don't worry. You people should take a step back. We are trying to make machines available." So the point I'm trying to make is this. Somebody said to me, and I quote, he said, "Let us see how far Nigerian youth can hold this. We are not going to let them cancel any election. We are not going to let them do whatever evil plans they have. We are not going to let them touch Mr. Obi. We are all his security." He has some people, like some of you might know, that have made themselves by force security without him accepting. He doesn't have a choice. If he mess up now, everybody, that his small black bag that he likes carrying, we are willing to carry him and choke inside the bag. That bag, that person said, I was laughing because that bag is a brand. If you don't see him with that bag and that his Brooks that he likes wearing, then you have not met Mr. Obi. If you don't mention that bag, I was just waiting for somebody to say, I met Mr. Obi. Then you start calling. I said, nah. No, you met him maybe one on his political journey. But if you met Mr. Obi one-on-one, on a very, like his usual self,